the more I learn about the brain, the more I am understanding people's behavior, the more I am understanding why we behave the way we behave. We have been programmed years ago. Like, our brain is programmed for survival. Our brain is programmed to keep us alive and safe. Do you remember stories about our ancestors? Do you remember seeing pictures on history books of how they survive, trying to kill a predator and trying to keep the family safe, and they had to go and hunt so they could eat, right? So their DNA has been passed down all the way to our DNA. And that's the reason why sometimes we behave the way we behave. And that's the reason why sometimes we say things that we say to keep us safe. Is our mind and our brain trying to keep us safe? And I can give you an example. Like last week, I think, is like I read a comment on a billionaire. There was a picture of a billionaire, and there was a lady on social media that posted that he had cheated all the way to the top. So that is an example, okay, of how our mind keeps us safe. I can say, oh, he made it all the way to the top because he cheated his way all the way up there. And we're comparing, like, I am not a billionaire because I'm not a cheater. That's what she's saying. So she's keeping her world safe by coming up with that phrase. Or sometimes you hear people about talking how that family is wealthy. And you said, oh yeah, it's because they inherit everything from his parents. Okay? And that's just a justification like that we use. Oh, they are wealthy because they inherit what they have. But I have to work for everything I have. I have to go to work every single day. And your brain is keeping you safe by telling you, don't you worry, girl. The reason why you don't have what they have is because nothing has been given to you. Feel proud that you have to work for what for what you're earning, for what you have. So they're just little phrases like that. Another one that makes me really sad is whenever another woman talks about a very successful woman and they say, oh yeah, she went out with a boss every night. That's why she made it to the top. That's kind of sad. Like, we should be proud of accomplishments that our people do. In reality, we should turn it around and say, oh wow, she made it possible. It's like she made it possible without having to justify how they made it possible. Because it is just a way to keep us safe. I'm not at the top because I didn't go out with my boss every night. That's what you're telling yourself. And you're keeping your psychology safe in a way that you're not where you're at because you're not going out with your boss. That's what you're telling yourself to keep you safe. Okay, but we don't see beyond like what they truly did. Like, what if she, truly finished her doctorate or master's degree, or, like, what if, she truly worked for her title. So sometimes our brain, our mind, come up with phrases that are very judgmental, and the reason why is because it's keeping us safe. But now that you know, you can learn to condition yourself in a way that if you want to follow a goal, if you want to follow your dreams, you can condition yourself. And people that we see on TV, athletes, singers, business owners, any leaders out there that you admire, let me tell you that they all share strategies, they all share techniques, they all share habits that they had to enforce in order to get where they got. I have the privilege and the blessing to train with coaches that help people like that. They help billionaires, because you might think, oh, they're billionaires and they have it all, but they don't. They might be billionaires, but they're struggling with home, like their relationship with a husband, or they're struggling with their kids. How do they connect with their kids? You see, there's athletes out there that they have to have the willpower to train, more than twice a day so that they can win the race or that they can win the competition. So allow me to tell you that there are tools, there are strategies, and there are techniques that are available to all of us, and that we can use them to grow and to better ourselves, because now the new style is self-development, is self-improvement. So do not allow your mind, do not allow your old brain to protect you in a way that you're judging others and you are not fully taking responsibility for your own actions, because there are strategies, there are techniques that people out there are using. Brendon Burchard, he is an outstanding coach that he has coached lots of famous people. He coaches billionaires. He has coached former presidents. He is coaching athletes and people that need him. Like they have made it, but if they want to maintain that status, they continue to learn from him. And not just from him, there's other outstanding coaches out there. So why am I sharing this information with you? It's because I want you to know that there are tools, that there are strategies, and there are techniques that these people that have made it have used. It's not because it was given to them. Because if it's given to them and if they don't have the strategies and techniques, they're probably going to lose it all. They are working, they're learning to keep whatever their parents gave them. Okay? Whoever you see that is climbing, what are they doing? Ask yourself, what are they doing to grow? How are they growing? And how are they how are they producing results? So you can grow and you can have no results, but you can also have results and not grow and be a jerk. But if you're growing and if you're producing results, you're on the right path. Always bring your integrity with it. Always bring your love with it. Always bring your gratitude with it. But make sure that you're growing and that you're showing results. Those are the two things that go hand on hand. So I'm sharing this so that you're aware. We're about to finish 2021. We're about to start 2022. So what are your goals? What are your dreams? What is your purpose in life? Because whatever those are, trust me, there are strategies, there are techniques that you can use to get your goals. One of the books that I read, because I keep hearing, Essentialism. I read Essentialism on the community with Brendon Burchard. All of his coaches that he has brought for us to learn, most of them have talked about this book. So I said, okay, I have to share this book with you all so that you are aware of this book and how it can teach you to find what is truly essential in your life. For 2022, what is essential? What are you going to focus on? Like, what matters to you the most? What this book brought me, I'm going to share this with you. What I learned from this book is that he said, whenever we don't prioritize, whenever we don't focus on what it is essential, this is what our life looks like. We are going in all directions. Here could be Facebook, here could be Instagram, here could be doing laundry, here could be finish a task, here could be preparing for the meeting for tomorrow, here could be just running an errand that somebody else could have done, but you volunteer for it. He says, like, we're going in all directions whenever we don't prioritize our time. And some of us were probably there. How many times did you say yes to Facebook? How many times and how many hours do you say yes to Netflix? How many times do you say yes to Instagram? And for how long? How many times did you volunteer for something that somebody else, can do, but you volunteered to do it anyways? That means we're not prioritizing our time. And he says in the book, it's like, what matters to you the most? What are you going to focus on? Because whenever we know what we're focusing on, we're growing. You see, now you're growing because you're going in one single direction because you know what you want. So that is the difference between being using your essential, like being your essential tools versus just going all over the place. So what do you want for 2022? What matters to you the most? How do you want to focus and bring all your attention, your intention, and your energy to? It could be that you might want to spend more time with your kids. Maybe you want to spend more time with your family. Maybe you want to open up the business that you've been thinking about for 3 years, but you have not been able to take the risk. Let me tell you that now in 2021, there are numbers of students taking the driver's ed is going down. Because somehow social media, we don't want to take risk. We have a digital pacifier. Yes, it's a digital pacifier that it just entertains us. And it's not truly essential for our lives. We're allowing, social media, we're allowing Netflix, we're allowing these new apps to drain our energy. So we need to wake up. So what truly matters to you? What do you want to accomplish for 2022? Or how do you want to finish this year for 2021? Really? It's like, what do we want to do? I promise you, there are strategies and there are techniques. If people has made it before, it's because it's possible. And it's not because it was given to them. It's because they had to learn. They learn it from a mentor. They learn it from their coach. They learn it from their father or grandfather, somebody. They learn it, they apply it, and they show their results. And if they did it, they show us that it's possible. So we can do it. Whatever we set our mind is like, what do we want to do? What do we want to accomplish? And it doesn't have to be the $1 billion. It doesn't have to be $1 million. It's like, it could be just spending more time with my family. It could be having quality of time, being more present. As simple as that. But it's like, what do you want? And trust me, there are strategies, there are tools that we can use, that we can implement. But it is up to us to implement those tools in our everyday life. We cannot get it from our app or from an app. So we need to get rid of this. Don't get rid of it, but it's like, we need to take this out of our sight and do not allow it to be a pacifier as adults and our children. Because if I am on my phone all the time, then how can I tell my child not to be on his phone? So the book is called Essentialism and is by Greg McCowan. Hope I'm saying his name correctly. It is a good book that will teach you to prioritize your life, to prioritize your time. It's going to tell you that it's good to play, because whenever we play, we get more creative and stress goes down. And it is so beneficial for our brain whenever we make time to play. So how are you going to play in 2022? What matters to you the most? How are you going to use your time? Like, how are you going to make it more essential where you can show results? Results are going to bring you joy. Results are going to bring you gratitude. Results are you're going to feel like you're loving. Results that is going to show you that you're using your integrity, that you are showing up for your family, that you're showing up for your team, that you're showing up in life. Blessings to you all. I hope to see you soon.